know, it was nice.
Cool.
The guy on the
Jeff's
top
got this
left,
weird
that's
thing
the
going on.
main,
Your
the
camera's
main guy.
doing
He's
some weird
like,
thing. I don't know what's happening, man.
yeah.
It's not me.
I'm gonna make my webcam
See,
The
smaller.
ghost in the machine.
He's like,
Hang on, checking my connection.
he's the guy that
My
like
heart's
basically
racing
got
'cause
everything
we have
started.
lots of new people in our community. So first and foremost, I just want to say a huge welcome to all of you who are joining us. If this is your first time watching a game development
That's
update,
kind
I'm
of
going
a-
to kind of walk through what we'll be covering and some quick updates, and then we'll get into it. We roughly do these about an hour, but sometimes they go over because we really like talking to you all. And normally we do like a Q&A segment, but because we just did an AMA recently, and you could check that out on our YouTube channel over at youtube.com/creation. We aren't going to do a Q&A segment, but we will be pulling questions from the channel throughout.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So the first things first, let's introduce ourselves so people know who we are and what we do on the project for all the new folks.
I think she's like the
obviously I'll
PR
start with
manager or
Steven.
something like that.
Steven?
My name is Stephen Sharif. I'm the creative director as well as the founder of Intrepid Studios.
Yeah, and I'm sure all of you have seen a lot of Steven around lately. He's been chatting with a lot of folks and answering a lot of questions. So thank you, Steven. And I've also seen you popping in on the social media. It's cute. Sometimes I'm like going to reply to somebody, and then I see that Steven has already replied, and I giggle because some of the stuff you say is really funny.
I apologize for some of my tweets from the official Ashes of Creation Twitter account. Sometimes they can get a little memey, but I have a lot of fun interacting with people, and I've thoroughly enjoyed the interviews over the past couple of weeks with Summit, with Shroud, with Asmongold, with
Yo,
Tim
what's
the
up?
Tap Man. It was a
Mr.
lot
Hate
of
Your
fun
Face.
to just chat
How
with
you doing,
fellow gamers and MMO players who share, I think, a similar passion for the genre, and it's been great to see their community's reactions, and it's awesome to welcome you guys. If this is the first time you're tuning in to our development update, we've been doing monthly development updates, ever since the end of Kickstarter, every month for the past, over 3 years now.
Only that shouldn't think your
Because
shit
we
as
really
usual.
do
That's
believe
good,
in the,
man. That's
the
good.
transparent, development process and how beneficial that can be. And I know you guys have heard me talk about this in the past, but how beneficial that can be engaging the community early on. Sometimes if you build a game up and you don't show anything of that game until 3 months out from launch, it's very difficult to go back and fix things, and that can cause a lot of issues. So I as a gamer, am a firm believer, and now as a developer, in that transparent process.
He
and we
flew over
really
his
enjoy
house
that you
in
guys are now
Durban,
tuning in
Yeah.
and helping us
it
get
looks
that feedback.
exactly like
First
it
and
is.
foremost, do not
Shit.
apologize. Do not apologize for being me.
It's a full Earth.
'cause I
It's a
think that's
full
awesome. That is our
one-to-one
culture. I think
scale.
it's okay.
Yeah.
But I do think,
Adding a bunch of
you
cool
know,
shit.
on that front,
That sounds like you,
it
man.
is
That
very
sounds like
interesting
you.
and different to be showcasing development.
Where's
So we
that
do
guy?
want to set the
Pocket.
expectation that a lot of these things that you're seeing are in development. So yes, of course, animations are going to change. Of course, art's going to be updated. Of course, systems are going to be more robust. This is the first phases of them. So keep that in mind as you're watching things and as you're learning about things. And we try our best to explain that. but if
She
you
doesn't have
see
to
it
explain
from a
that to
third
us. We
party, it
understand the
might not always
development
give that
process,
same
Chrissy.
impression.
Yeah, one of the favorite things I have actually about a transparent development, and
That's
now
like, that
having 3
goes
years under
into
the
my
belt
1
in
year
this
straight
production
up.
of Ashes
Yeah.
of Creation, it's always fun to go back.
That's
to,
why I have
like,
so
the
much mad
first
respect for
gameplay
them for
footage
changing a
that,
lot of
when
net
it was
coding
just like
for
me,
better
Jeff, and a
stability.
handful of other people in the studios, and take a look at where the game has come from at that time, and in 3 short years where it's at today. Keeping that kind of that storyboard timeline in place really gives you perspective on just how things with iteration become better and better and better. And knowing that, even though you're seeing pre-alpha gameplay like today on the stream, or you saw our 4K footage that we released last month,
Yo, you should check
it
that out,
still
dude. It's
gets
fucking
much better
awesome. The
from
4K
there.
footage
That
they
is
made.
without polish, without optimization. You're getting an inside look at what it means to build this massive
dude, it's
project.
good.
And really,
It's
we
good.
are one of the most ambitious MMORPGs I think
Just
really
type in
ever attempted.
4K
Not
dev
because
stream
we're trying
Ashes
to
of Creation.
reinvent the wheel, but because we're bringing in a culmination of these systems and designs we've seen in other games as inspiration on how to make a truly PvX, sand park experience. And I think that's something really fun to watch.
And of course, Jeff,
Yeah, I
if you
think
want to
we
introduce
should
yourself.
we should republish that first combat.
No.
video.
No.
Then people can see exactly how far we've come.
When we launch, I'll agree with that. But
Okay.
until then, let's keep that under
I'm gonna hold
wraps.
you to it.
Because there's some
Dude,
percentage
I
of
love
an
these.
audience that's
I
first-time
feel like
lookers and they don't
these
understand
guys,
what
the
we're
way
saying
they
right
are
now
and
on
explaining,
stream.
like,
They're
no,
not
don't show.
one of
That's
the,
literally
12,000 people
how
who
we are
tuned in
at
currently.
the
So they
when
don't
we
have
develop like
context.
new
And when they
features
see
for
that
our
first
system
video,
and
they're
shit,
gonna
and they're
be
like,
they'll
no,
think
no,
it's
that look
amazing.
good.
This is trash. This is dog,
We'll show you when it's done.
whatever. So,
But you kind of want to show the progress,
And
even
of
though you
course,
know
Jeff,
it's
if you
still
wanna talk
icky.
a little
But
bit about what you do on our team and all of that jazz.
just
Haven't
developing
gotten to you
things.
yet.
Pretty fucking awesome, dude.
I am Jeffrey Ballard. I am the lead game designer for Ashes of Creation. I've been with the studio for 5 years now. It's been a while. So we like making fun games, and we're really excited to share that all with you.
You can feel the
Yay.
passion, right?
Awesome. So quickly, I'm just going to go
Definitely.
through what we're going to be covering today. We're going to be doing a studio update as per usual. Steven usually handles that. We'll be doing a design update. We also have some gameplay footage for you all, because I know you always ask. We will be talking about kind of harvesting and gathering.
This is a good thing they're doing, right? With engaging in the community.
On the environment
they're
side, we'll be
making
doing an
everyone so
environment update with
curious
a lot
and
of goodies
amped
on
up.
there, as well as a
They should
character
just
update
keep
with
it
some
up.
information from that front.
Yeah.
Now, to get through the quick updates, just because I want to get through those really quickly, I'll try to go fast. I will switch over to another scene quick.
Oh, and just to, by the way, for those of you guys first time tuning in, these development updates aren't always really grounded in gameplay footage. You're going to see some gameplay footage, but really this is kind of about, I guess, showing the process of what it takes to build a game. So you're going to see a lot of art-related stuff. You're going to see models of characters and creatures and mounts, and you're going to see, effects and design discussions, and, pretty much really this is focused
That's the
on
shit I
what
love.
it means to develop a game, and less around marketing or hyping, so to speak, the gameplay footage, as you may have experienced with other games. So just keep that in mind. The context of our monthly development updates are really focused on the production of the game.
Yeah. Sorry, I think you peaked whenever you got excited there.
Oh, did I? Was I
Yeah,
loud?
so the first thing that I wanted to showcase
Don't
was that we
peek
do
yet.
have new
Want to see
emotes
one
on
of
our
the things I
Discord,
finished?
so
Yeah,
definitely
sure,
go
man.
check those
You can
out.
post the
More
link to a
coming
picture or
along the
something.
way
I'll
as
check
we
it out.
lead up to Alpha, so definitely check them out. Jeff really likes them. As he was watching Mike make these, Mike's our graphics guy. Thanks,
They're like my
Mike.
favorite thing in the entire world.
Yeah, he walked by. He's like, "What is that? So cute." But yeah, this is Nick and Fee, or Fee and Nick. Fee Nick. Get it?
No,
They're amazing. We kind of have like these little characters. We have like a whole personalities
where-
for
where
them.
is that?
Nick is like the older brother. Fee's like the little sister who's always getting into trouble, and Nick's always cleaning up. So we have a lot of fun.
Right,
with
yeah,
it.
we can
There's
do
more
that in a
events
bit.
coming along.
I'm just
We're
checking
gonna
this
try to
live
keep
stream
it
right
to
now.
those, so
I kind of want to
everybody's
listen to
asking.
what they're saying.
Next, we have our
Yeah.
packs. People have been asking me to let you guys know whenever those are going to be swapping
Why
over.
isn't your
These
Windows
will
Oh,
be
active?
swapping
wow.
over on August 5th, 2020 at 11 a.m. This
Because
is
the key I
11 a.m.
got by
Pacific, I should
university
say.
doesn't work.
These are
Is what
also
it is.
noted in our news articles
Just
as we announce new
IMA
dates, so you already
support.
know the dates whenever they're swapping over way in advance. So just keep that in mind, because some folks didn't realize that was the case. We do have.
And by the way, just a quick note on the pack stuff. I know we've been getting a lot of people asking how they can, purchase an Alpha 1 access. About
no,
2
mute
years
your
ago,
mic.
I suspended the sales of Alpha 1 packages, and that was
What are you doing,
primarily
Chrissy?
because we had already reached kind of the peak testing
stream.
group that we wanted to have for Alpha 1 before we allowed additional people to come in. That may change in the
Never.
future. It depends on how the testing will go. It would not change until after the initial stress testing and getting everything
Fuck,
solidified on our end, where we feel comfortable that we can go above that 10,000 person limit that we restricted those pack sales to. So if that is something you're interested in, right now it's not available.
I wanna
You can
see
always
their
upgrade
fucking
any
3D
package that you
models.
may own. But
That would get you hard.
otherwise, if you don't want to buy pack,
Yeah.
it's perfectly fine. Just sit back. It's going to be not.
Their
under
bosses
NDA,
look
so you
really
can
cool. It's
watch,
very Lord of the
other
Rings
people
vibes,
playing on
I
stream.
feel.
You can get people's kind of idea of the game and its current status, and understand what we've implemented from a core feature standpoint as well.
Yeah, and we do have our bonus dev discussion up. This one is a little bit different because it basically came from the AMA with Steven. So we've decided to put out a multi-boxing conversation because folks were, it was kind of like a heated back and forth conversation. So we were like, you know what, let's kind of see what the community sentiment is overall. And then the dev team is going to take that report and kind of discuss it internally, and maybe we'll change our mind, maybe we'll keep it the way that we currently have standing on it. But you can go check that out over on our forums, forums.ashesofcreation.com. And we also will have another new dev discussion coming up in August as per usual, so stay tuned for that as well. We won't take one away, we're just giving you an extra one. Because Jeff has a long list of questions for us to get through, so we're definitely trying to get through those.
Like a year's worth?
Yeah, and the last
This
update
guy,
that I have
the
for
guy
you
on the
all
top
is-
right,
I'm sorry
I
I'm
think
talking
Jeff, he
fast
kind of
and
looks like that
nervous.
dude
Is
from
someone
Game of
familiar?
Thrones. The
Someone's like, girl, slow down.
Ginger guy.
Okay.
what's his
I'm
name?
going to switch over to another scene.
Joffrey,
We
King
have this
Joffrey's
lovely
dad,
statue
or
that is
granddad,
still
granddad.
available.
I
Our
don't
creative
know
director's
his
letter
name,
came
man.
out this month, so if you haven't checked that out, definitely go check it out. We did announce that our Leader of Men API testing will be coming up here shortly, and probably around mid-August, so stay tuned for that. We are currently trying to get everyone's
What API testing?
NDAs signed, so if you didn't see an email come in, definitely check your spam and junk mailbox because we have sent those out. We're going to send out another reminder today for new folks who have upgraded, so if you get that email, please check it over the weekend, get us your information, and our CS team will start back up on Monday sending out those.
Alton, we should
flags so that
apply
you
to
have all the
fucking
information
test
as
their
we,
game, dude.
publish that.
Hell
to
yeah,
you
dude,
all.
I'm down.
Just to-
I'll even
just
tell
to be
them that
clear,
we've got
anybody
development
who
experience so we
registers
can
between
test
now
like
and when is it,
next
Mark?
level testing.
September?
Yes, I was just gonna say
Break
that.
it. Fucking
So this
break
will
it from the
be
inside out.
for anybody who has registered from April 7th, 2020 to September 7th, 2020.
Where's their
And
email
we'll
address?
do, 12 a.m.
Fucking send
or
this shit now.
11:59 a.m. or p.m. PDT, that type
Yeah,
of
and
thing.
there's no purchase behind
We
this.
should have a
All it
website,
is
right,
an
Ashes?
account registration, so you can participate in the forums and get involved in discussions. Anybody who registers on the site gets
Send me the
this
email
as a
if you
home
got it.
decor item.
I want to
It's going
apply
to be
for
a
the
pretty cool
testing.
little item that signifies the struggles that we as humanity have gone through now with COVID. And are continuing
we
to
can
go
register
through.
now.
It'll have a little bit of some effects as the portal there, and will be placeable in your home on a
Contact
table
us.
or a
Fucking
mantle, stuff like
careers
that.
already.
Yeah, it's beautiful. I'm so excited. So that is it for our quick updates. So let's get right into our
Intrepid
studio update. If you wanna
Studios.
take it away,
Weird
Steve.
name, eh?
Absolutely. So, as many of you have
Well, it
probably
was
seen,
started
sorry, my
in
dogs are
2015, so
walking up. As any of you
Show us
guys have
doggies.
probably
They lost a full year due to them redoing
Cameras
like
on like this
a lot of
tripod thing.
core
Little thing.
features, like the
Anybody
networking and shit.
who's been following,
So they kinda lost a
our
year there,
socials
but
may have noticed
yeah.
that we have now begun our next round of hiring.
so I don't see
We have
any-
listed 24
Oh, they have-
positions that
there's
are
a QA
available at the
manager, yeah.
studio. I was a little bit
So they've only
hesitant
got one
early on
tester.
with this COVID crisis to
Really?
initiate that next round, but honestly, we waited as long as we could. It's
Current
not
career
looking good
listings.
from a coming back to the office standpoint with the working from home condition, but the team has been really amazing in maintaining productivity. As a matter of fact, being actually more efficient and working from home,
Facts.
as we've noticed. But the onboarding process while in a work from home state is
Junior
obviously
gameplay
difficult.
designer.
But we had to bite the bullet and begin that next phase of hiring. So I believe we've now secured about 7 of those 24 positions. So one thing that's really helpful, by the way, guys, if you like the ideas that we're talking about, if you like the philosophies that we have within the project, if you have favorite developers out there that you like, I'm all for you helping us share those posts for our hiring phases. Tagging your favorite developers and saying, "Hey, have you heard of Ashes?"
Yeah,
I am unabashed in that sense. So don't worry about doing that.
This is a very cool project, and it's something that I
don't
don't think
see
too
any way
many
we can
developers will get a
apply
chance to work
to-
on. Where where we're at
I'll do
right
some
now,
digging.
and kind
I'll
of
do
the
some
amount of
digging, see if I
contribution
can-
that you can make to the
I can get
project.
something for us.
For a project that is this big,
PM them on
you get to work on
Twitter.
a lot of really cool, interesting problems, and kind of be on the bleeding edge of MMOs. So
Yeah.
let
Yeah,
your
don't
friends
be
know.
don't be afraid to share that. But otherwise, regarding studio update, I know previously I had hoped that we would have been into our new studio in August/September timeframe. Unfortunately,
Look at the
way
cup.
it
It's a
looks
D&D
like
cup.
COVID is going, and especially in our great state of California,
It's a
it
D&D
doesn't look
dice.
like that time frame is going to be
Is it?
possible.
Yeah, look.
So it looks like I may need to push back us entering back into the studio,
Fucking
the new
awesome.
studio, till sometime after the new year, because with
I
the
love that.
rollout
I
of
fucking love
our
it.
initial Alpha 1 testing being sometime around the end of fall, the end of this year, it would just be too hectic to come up upon that timeline and at the same time trying to service a live test client. that would be problematic in my opinion. So that's a little update on the move process, update on the hiring process. From a development standpoint, as you guys know, you have seen me likely doing some interviews and whatnot. The desire, let me just be clear, the desire there is not to drum up hype for the game. I know that hype can lead to the dark side for many projects, and we don't want to be on that front. What we want to do, however, is be open and transparent and give people the opportunity to discuss their feelings and their thoughts on our design ideas, to watch our testing periods, to give feedback in that regard. There is still a long road ahead of us. We are a very dedicated, passionate, and productive team. We have a lot of veteran MMORPG developers from many other favorite franchises that you guys have
When
played.
they set up their stream like this,
And
3 webcams
we
in
just
one thing.
want to keep that open, transparent development process going forward. And that's really the reason for getting fresh eyes on the project. It's always beneficial, to take into account the feedback that, community members who have been with the project for a long time have, but it's also great, fresh, and constructive, I think, to receive new, fresh feedback from fresh eyes who may not be as close to the project as our existing community. And that doesn't mean we don't love I love our existing community 100%, but it's great to diversify the feedback. I think that's something that's very beneficial as well.
You submitted your?
You've seen me doing some of these interviews. That really is intended to get fresh eyes.
I want to
on
do
the
it, but I don't know
project,
if I'm
get
actually
that
going to
fresh
get anything back.
But otherwise, that's, I think, the general update for the studio.
$3,000.
Yeah, we've got a lot
Okay,
going
taking
on.
me out to
and
dinner.
As Steven said,
Talk
we're looking through everything, even
That
with
shit's going
working
straight
from home. Obviously, we're still
into
doing our game updates
the deposit
from home,
money.
as you see us in our house.
Mm.
I'm kind of sad, Jeff. We
Why
don't
are
get
you
to see
sad?
because we don't get to see the princess castle
Because I had
behind
to
you
whip out
anymore.
money from
Oh.
my savings.
Yeah, she hasn't been playing with it too much lately, so and it was taking up a lot of space in the living room, and it was kind of, kind of spread our wings a little bit. But it'll probably come back, maybe towards the winter when she gets more interested in it again. We'll see.
We got to get you like a little princess.
I love the
crown,
art
so
they
you
have like for the
Um,
logos and shit.
So, moving on over to Jeff, speaking of which, let's talk a little bit about the design team and what you all have been working on. And we do have a lot of footage, so we have some cool particle effects updates that we're going to
Ooh,
showcase,
effects.
as well
Show me that
as
good
a
stuff.
17-minute long video. So we're going to show that off as well. And then we'll come back and we'll chat. So let's...
Ooh,
Yeah, so,
footage time.
It's been sort of, we hit our big milestone kind of back in May.
Show us the
And
good
so
stuff.
the time that we spend after that is sort of catching up on other things, right? So we learned a lot of stuff from that test, and so when it comes to kind of figuring out where we want to go and what tools we need next in coming up to these next milestones that we're going to tackle. So a big thing we need are tools that allow us to scale towards the sort of massive game that we're trying to build right now. So the design team's kind of sitting down, defining all of those tools, kind of figuring out what we need to do to move forward and do things like populate a huge gigantic world. How do we do that quickly? How do we do that efficiently? And how do we do that interestingly? So we sit down, we write a bunch of definitions for engineering, and then they start building tools for us. And we're kind of getting towards the end of that process right now.
Right, and really what Jeff is talking about, there's obviously, as you begin to stand up different phases of a project moving into the first alpha, you have these rudimentary tools that help facilitate that process on the design front. But as you begin to
They
work your
actually
way
built
through
tools to
implementation
make
of certain
models,
core features,
Jesse. So like
or
tools to
content,
build buildings and
you
shit. So
start
they
to
have like a
better
core
define what those
tool that
tools
they
will
made
require because you've
in-house,
gone through that first
so that
process
designers
initially.
can literally
So
drag
as
and
we go
fucking
back,
visually
iterate
create models
essentially,
easy, like
talking with
boom,
engineering
boom, boom,
about,
boom. This is
what
how
additional
this is
features this tool
like that.
requires,
They
how
make
we
the
want
they
this
make
to
it themselves,
interact
and they
with
know
the
exactly
content
what they
we're
want.
attempting to
Exactly.
implement.
Their lives
That gets
easier.
further
Because they
refined,
said they
further
wanted
refined until
lots of diversity
when we
in
have
buildings
a whole
and shit.
pipeline in place with those tools, it really expedites the process and accelerates the ability for the designers to implement things into the world.
Do you
Yeah,
want to
I
give
mean,
an example of a tool to kind of help people who maybe don't understand like the logistics of how that works?
Yeah, for sure. Like, so we populate our world with spawners, basically, and the spawners talk to the nodes, and they kind of know what the state of the world is, right? There's a lot of data on any given spawner, but the process of actually placing those spawners in the world and setting that data can take a long time. So we have a huge world and we need to put a lot of monsters in the world, and we need to have a lot of different states.
I'm curious how they
covered
tackled
by
this issue,
what
the
nodes
loading.
can be, right? So what we discovered is we need sort of a world manager, something that can talk to all of these nodes, and we can tell that world manager how to handle those spawners rather than us individually setting up each and every single one. So that's kind of where we're going on the population side, something that can help us do things at scale across the entire world. Because if you keep in mind, right, a node can have any number of states, right? It could be level 3 and an elf node, or it could be level 6 and it could be a human node. And our world is populated differently based on those states. So if you could imagine, we would be populating the world almost like, I don't know what that ends up being math-wise, but like 50 different times. And so we need something to help us out that way, and that's the kind of tool that we're talking about.
Yeah.
Awesome, thank you. So I have some cool particle effects. I'm going to be swapping some cameras over, so it's going to take a moment before our cameras are all in the right spot. So bear with us. Oops, wrong one.
Oh, that's some gameplay.
I see there's a lot of people in chat talking about a Frognar race. I guess that'd be kind of like a heavily frog-influenced Tolnar species.
That's what it sounds
I don't know if that falls into the reptilian category, the frog attributes, or more a.
Oh shit, that looks good.
Oh, are we showing that video?
Yeah, it accidentally went up. Sorry. I hit the wrong thing. Because I originally had it in a different order, but you wanted to switch it, so I forgot to move it on the screen. So the first thing that you're seeing here is actually our blink ability, and we're also going to show the blink impact. We've been doing a lot of particle effect changes, and I'll let Jeff kind of talk about the design behind
Fucking
that.
awesome.
That looks beautiful.
So I don't know, people who may be familiar with Unreal know that Unreal moved a little while ago from Cascade as a particle system solution to Niagara. And Niagara is a really cool, really smart way of building particles. So we've been kind of transitioning that. Our effects guy, Jim Sanders, who is just amazing at what he does, has been playing with it and trying to integrate it into our pipelines. And we're pretty much set to go there. So all of our new effects will be offered in Niagara. We're also combining that with Houdini,
even the particles
that
disappears like when after he's blinked. You see that?
Yeah.
And just to
look at how the particles fall on the ground, and it still bounces on the ground. Just check it.
Effects for. This is one of the Mage's kind of fundamental mobility skills, their teleport option. And just so you guys are aware, the way kind of we work with skills is you have skill points that you can allocate into active skills based off of your base archetype, right? And as you allocate skill points into those skills, you can give additional skill points to unlock, additional features for that skill per se. So the initial active skill of teleport may only teleport you forward. But what you're seeing, I think from this perspective, it looks like he's teleporting backwards. That would be an additional feature that would be unlocked by allocating more skill points, which makes the teleport omnidirectional. So as you're essentially looking within as you're essentially keystroking in a particular direction and you activate the skill, your teleportability will teleport you, maintaining your direction in that.
So you can decide which way you're going to teleport. So it's going to. Oh my god, that is fucking awesome.
This is one of we call this our zoo level, and it's basically got all of.
No, like if you hold in S and use your blink, it'll take you backwards or whatever, like that.
And kind of tune things.
Yeah, it's kind of like their dev build area, so they can just
so you don't have to turn your whole camera around and be delayed. You can instantly teleport backwards, left, right, just as you want.
And of course, he's clicking on the ability because he's kind of showing you like the what do you call it?
The tool tab.
The tool tab. Yeah, there we go. Yeah. So I'll show the impact of blink as well next.
Ooh.
This is upon.
This is like a closer up view of it, so that's kind of the thing that's playing off of your mesh when you do that. Obviously, this is not a real character; it's just a fake character.
I love the rawness of like them playing around with all these things.
Uses these pawns so that it's a really quick iterative process. You don't want to necessarily worry about all the functionality and making it work with a pawn at first when you're first setting up those particle effects. So yeah.
Yeah, and the great thing about Unreal Engine, especially with their newest update to Niagara, is really the front end, the graphical fidelity that Unreal Engine offers is so beautiful. And it's great when you have a very capable and talented artist like Jim who can really take advantage of those of those systems and just pump out really great looking art. So kudos, Jim.
All right, and then switching over to Gift of Magi.
What are you thinking about the art style?
Magi is, absolutely. This is a skill, I believe, that
it's very
Mage
Black
archetype
Desert
has, which allows
inspired,
the mage essentially to grant a portion of their mana to
Yeah,
a friendly.
it's very much based off of the
character.
the modern.
So you're seeing, here
MMO
this
scene,
this
graphics
updated
scene.
effects for that skill. And
the
one
big
of
part here is sort of the dynamic lighting that is happening on that effect.
I
So
like-
that's
I
kind of
love
what
their
he's trying to show off here,
animations,
and then some of the volumetric fog.
Yeah.
But the way that it lights up kind of the whole area and is not just baked into it.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, one of the directions, that I've given Jim with regards to kind of the style of these effects is I'm a huge fan of volumetric fog elements incorporated into special effects for the characters and certain skills.
This is very risky
really
to
love
do,
the way that
because
Jim
imagine
implemented
these
this,
type of effects on like
this
250
fog
to
appearance
250.
as well as that lighting just to illuminate.
So I'm
even
wondering what they're
further,
doing.
the depth of
I
that,
don't know how
that gaseous
FPS,
element
dude.
around is. I think it's a really cool component
again?
of magic and arcane art.
How are they gonna
from an
manage the
immersion
frames?
standpoint.
Yeah, he's working on
So
a
what
lot
they
of cool,
do
fog and
is
things
they
like that, so
have
it's really
different
neat.
model
That question
sets
that I
in
had that
large
was in
scale
the chat was
zones.
actually
So
in
if you're in a
regards to
siege,
graphics and, like, different
whatever,
settings and what
then
those particles
everyone
actually
has the
look like.
same
If
character
you
model
wanna
kind of
talk a
thing,
little bit
not
about
gear and stuff, but
that.
like stuff a user won't notice in such a large scale
as we
battle.
enter into
It's
phases
very
of
like generic
optimization
to save up a lot of
as
space and
we're
stuff.
developing these types
Like preloaded,
of,
basically.
these types of effects.
Preloaded and
We're
shared,
taking into
like lots of
consideration that,
shared
players
assets.
will have a scalability setting that they can tune, which is appropriate for their rig or hardware that they're running. That kind of lessens the load on the client in order to render these
like,
types of effects, or
like you would
these numbers of polys on the character. Or,
I would share textures when you make a
essentially
game in
just having
Unity
scalability
to
options.
save space
So
and
one of
RAM
those
instead
in
of having
relation to
individual
the
textures
effects
per
is,
model.
players can
You'd share what
scale
you
that
can, you
down
bake and
so
share
it's
it.
not
So they
as
kind of do
intensive on
a lot of
their-
stuff
on their
like
rig.
that in the large scale
All right, I'm gonna
battlegrounds,
switch
from
over
what I
to,
heard.
the Prismatic Beam next.
Oh shit!
Jeff, you want to talk about this?
Oh,
Yeah,
fucking
so this is
lovely.
Prismatic Beam. This is one of those channel skills, so it does more damage the longer you hold it down. It kind of roots you into place.
Fucking
but it's a really
Kamehameha,
high
dude.
damage, high risk, high reward kind of ability.
Look at that little rainbow bubble thing
effect
around
here is
it when
really
it
neat.
starts.
Beams are not
Oh
Look up.
my!
super easy to do.
Wow,
but,
that is
but
beautiful.
the kind of flowy, watery almost feel of this ability, I think Jim captured really
If they can get this to
well.
work right
It
in
feels like a
large scale
nice, awesome, powerful
PvP,
laser.
dude, they
It gets
just
even
look
better
like a
when you see
scene
some of
out
the
of fucking
animations
Harry
that are behind
Potter.
that.
I'm telling you.
You really get a
Dude.
sense of like, oh, this is.
I just hope
their
their
that's kind of we always
their quest
feel
lines
and
and
flow
everything is quite
really
in
important
depth.
to us always, and this really captures kind of that like you are channeling some serious magic here. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Or did you have
And
something
you
to
want
add,
to talk a little bit? You want to talk a little bit maybe about the difference between the tab targeting skills that we saw just previously, and how this one works from a line effect standpoint?
Yeah. So we kind of split the difference between the different kinds of abilities that we have. We want to give people a lot of different opportunities to play the game the way they want to. So we have some abilities that are tab targets, some abilities that are dynamic, and then some abilities that are like purely action based. This is kind of falls into that latter category where this beam is going to go wherever you are pointing your camera. So you need to be on target, otherwise you can miss. It's not really related to the accuracy of your character's stats. It's more the accuracy of your mouse. So we want to make sure that you get opportunities to kind of play that risk reward game based on how you want to play the game.
Right. And is this effect an area of effect, or does it stop impact on impact and deals damage to that initial target and doesn't go past it?
Right now, I think it does both. As you scale it up, I think the first stage of it stops at whoever you target, and then the final stage passes through and hits everything in the
Dude,
Nice.
I love how the
So
ability
that's more
upgrades
about
work.
that,
It's not just like it does more
injecting additional
damage,
skill points
it
into
does
individual
more.
skills to unlock additional
So like the
features for
initial
it.
one
So
do
the initial
damage to
one would
target
stop
and
on
then
on a collision impact, and then later stage would go through. That's cool.
fuck, that's insane.
And obviously, with a lot of testing, we'll be.
So it's not like some
between
static you get more
abilities, so
damage, it costs more mana. It's like it actually does something else
This is like
almost.
the first iteration of this ability for the mage, so it's going to go through a lot of different changes.
Oh, dude, it keeps your abilities interesting as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Over and over again.
The next one is going to be the level
We're
up.
definitely going to go over time, by the way.
Yeah, oh yeah, we're definitely going to go over time.
Oh my god, we're only a half hour in.
I know.
And we don't even have the Q&A this time. We're still going to go over.
It's a good thing we did an hour and a half AMA.
Yeah, true. So our next one is our level up effect. Now,
Ooh, level up effect. Show
this
me,
is kind
show
of a
me
really
the good
important
stuff.
thing with, games, because I think they can be really iconic and memorable. So do note that this is still in stages, so keep that in mind.
Yeah. Oh, here we go.
Oh,
Yeah, so I
wow.
mean, one of the cool abilities that we all love seeing, and it gives us a major dopamine response, is when our character levels up, especially when you're higher level. This is the first iteration on the level up effects. One of the things I loved, about when I leveled in Lineage 2 was it had this like God ray comes down over your character and expands, and little leaves, like little golden light leaves, fall out of the sky, and it's this cool event. So we wanted to try to hit that a little bit. There's going to be further iterations, but this is the first pass, and I really like the direction Jim's going.
You're seeing this,
one
the
of the things that's
extra.
really
Just
good
look at the
is, like,
detail.
radiance effect. Like
I
he
love it.
really uses colors in really interesting
This
ways.
is the difference between applying
and I
something
love
just
what
for the
he's able to
sake of
bring
it
out in
versus
these
like put a
effects.
little
They're
bit of
not
love
just
in it.
simple unicolor kind of things. There's the full spectrum of the rainbow in this.
Oh, dude. I love it. I love it. I
Yeah.
like always to see
All right.
like small
ready.
details being
Yes.
paid attention to.
Oh, Phoenix
I
wings
think we
would be
had
really
that in
cool.
super long ago, actually.
We
I think
did.
at one of the PAX events.
Like little wings on the back of you
Yeah.
whenever you. Oh, that'd be cool. But yeah, we still are obviously going through that. There will be sound effects and things of that sort as well that will be hopefully.
But they
iconic
did
to you
say
all. That is our goal.
A big,
so when you
big
level up, you're like, yeah.
goal for them, or something
So without
important
further
for
ado, I kind
them
of wanna
is making sure the
preface
game
things
runs
before we
really
move into the
smooth.
next thing, which is going to be our 17-minute long
That's what I
video.
want to hear.
We want to talk a little bit about gathering and harvesting, and obviously we'll talk a little bit about it after, and I'll grab some questions from chat, so definitely toss your questions in. We'll also have Ashes of Creation responding to some of the ones that we've already answered before. So I guess, Stephen, if you want to kind of preface this before we switch over?
just to contextualize the video,
Mhm.
when did we record this?
They
Was it
should just
yesterday?
work
Yeah,
a little bit
yesterday.
on the shadows.
Yeah, dude,
God,
they
days are
still
just-
they'll get there. They'll get there.
They're all blurring together. Okay.
Because you see the leaves are blowing,
Contextualizing
but
this is
there's fuck
basically,
all on the
we wanted
ground.
to show off two
moving.
things. One, the very early stages of gathering, and really the way it works, and we're going to go into a little bit more depth afterwards. The gathering is one branch of the artisanship tree. There's three
the
primary
water is
branches:
beautiful,
gathering,
even, eh?
processing, and crafting. And those are meant to have interdependencies within one another. But essentially, what we show today is kind of there's tool prerequisites when it comes to accessing certain resources in the world as a gatherable. And gatherers will have the abilities to create their tools, but those tools will have only a certain number of usage before you need to recreate that tool. And essentially, as you become more proficient within the gathering branch of the artisanship tree and your tool making becomes better, you begin to increase the amount of usages that are available, and then those the usages that are under the tool prerequisite will eventually come to the point where you'll have these master tool sets that'll grant you access to the highest possible gatherables in the world. And one other thing to note about gatherables is there's both a combination of I guess there's three types of gatherables. There's the ones that a lot of us are used to, which is the single use resource out in the world. You gather it, it goes away for a period of time, and then it comes back later or randomly spawns elsewhere in the region. The second is going to be these large static veins that exist, which will attract lots of people, and they'll have a finite number of gathering that's possible until that vein is depleted, and then it will will go out and respawn somewhere else in the world. And then the last type of gatherable is a mobile group gatherable kind of thing. So these are like herds of animals that might be out there in the world, and they may move a little bit. So it's like a moving resource, so to speak.
You know, the
Maybe it
weirdest
exists on a
thing
spline
happened,
and just
bro.
kind of goes around the
Yeah.
world.
So,
You're only going to
I'm
see
looking
in this
at your
video
webcam,
a very basic type
and
of gathering mechanic,
you-
which is
you
those
pulling the
first
hub on
type,
your side,
that
but
you can
it's-
gather. And
it's not
and
in your mouth on the
additionally, we did
webcam
receive a
side,
lot of
I'm just getting
questions about the size
So
of the world.
as that
and,
noise comes, you
one thing
lift
that
up in
I
your chair, bro. I
personally
thought
love
you were
about
fucking
an
letting
MMO
one rip there.
is having this grand, magnificent type of architecture that exists. So we ran you through one of the dungeons, but I did it
was a
with
little
Margaret
bit
and Sarah, by the way.
delayed.
This is Margaret, Sarah,
Yeah.
and myself doing this little video. I did it at flying above the dungeon so that you can just get an understanding of the scope. I know you had seen likely this dungeon in previous 4K video, but it was on foot. So I really wanted to
came
show
into the
off,
channel?
being up in the air and just kind of seeing this
someone come in
grand
here?
size dungeon.
It's your boy.
And this is an early
Oh,
dungeon too.
Mr.
There's level 10 dungeon.
Smarties.
Yeah, and we have shown this
We're
dungeon
watching,
before, I believe,
Dave's
so you
stream.
might have seen footage of some of it before, but
Look.
are you ready to pass it over to the video?
Ready.
All right.
Let's go.
See
I
y'all
think-
in 17
I
minutes.
think they're gonna show some dungeon now.
I hope so.
All right,
Yeah.
now everybody now.
What are you thinking about the
slide to
UI?
left. Slide to
It's
the right.
clean.
Yeah, I was
Take
always,
it back now, y'all.
We're recording, by the way.
I like it. It's not all over the place, dude.
yeah.
Yeah, no, that was good though. I like.
And there's no
Jesus, that
Board.
horse jumps high.
So no,
There's
we're
no
good.
borders
hey
or
guys,
anything.
We're here live. Well, actually, we're not live.
wonder
This
if they'll
is
have
pre-recorded.
add-ons. Or not.
We're
But
live right
Probably.
we're live right, yeah.
But probably like only a year later after.
Something
Yeah, that's
interesting
right.
actually,
This is-
I remember
this
now. I
is
did watch one of the
what,
ones where they talked about
uh,
add-ons. They said if you
We're just
can use
gonna-
add-ons to
right
automate
now
a process
we're
in-game, then the
streaming with us.
process
We
in-game is
wanted to
flawed.
pre-record this
He
to
said
kinda show
they
off
don't
some of
want
the,
that to happen, so they're not gonna not give add-ons, but
gathering and
it's basically
maybe-
gonna be like
I don't know, take a look.
stuff you should be accomplishing yourself wouldn't be able to be
Those of you guys
automated
who are
with an
tuning in for the
add-on.
first time, this is our pre-alpha
Because that's what's
client.
happening
This
in
is
WoW now. Lots of shit is
essentially the
automated
alpha
with
1 client
add-ons.
that's getting tested and all the bugs are getting worked
Yeah, but
out.
wow, just yesterday that
so,
game just blew
yeah.
up, eh?
We should maybe go gather some things. Did you guys get tools and whatnot?
But it's Blizzard,
Yeah, I got some tools.
so it's
Cool.
understandable.
I'm gonna walk. You guys can set your walk mode to by pressing period if you want. And there we go. Oh,
That guy looks really small.
wow.
I don't think
You
I
just
Uh,
fucked
yeah.
off those.
Sad.
Oh.
That's okay. We can run around.
I
That
like
is
the
the-
animation.
yeah. The horses are big though. It's really big.
I like
The
it.
movement looks
But we're gonna-
looks
let's look for
good
some,
so
like,
far. A little bit.
Some trees.
I'll need to see some combat to see if
Trees
it's
around here.
clunky,
You guys
but
see any trees that we can chop
I
down?
think there's one down over here.
but it looks good
So,
actually.
to give you guys an idea, out in the world, you're going to have you're gonna have raw
I
resources.
think their
Oh, here we
stream
go.
is lagging a
You're gonna
bit.
have raw resources
Mm.
that essentially you can, if you have the tools available for
Wanna go
the.
for a toast?
Oh yeah, here I'll grab it. Let me see.
Oh, that's fucking awesome.
Essentially,
What?
you have the tools for
You
these
need to have like
raw
a
resources
hatchet or
available.
whatever.
Yeah.
You're going to.
Oh shit, nice.
You're short.
Yo, that's sick.
Yeah, I was safely underneath the log.
You're going to essentially be able to harvest different raw resources out in the world based off of the tools.
They're gonna need to optimize this like really well though,
higher
because
quality
it's
resources are
looking
gonna
like it's gonna be
require,
quite GPU intensive.
higher quality tools.
Yeah, but
It's
the
also
new
important
Unreal
to note
Engine's got
that,
already built-in
many
optimization tools,
of
bro.
the raw
Mm.
gatherables out in the
It
world
bakes
have an
everything
opportunity
as
to,
you
essentially
as you create it.
Look
grant
at
you
that look at that NPC.
their
Look at that mob.
resources,
What is
that
that, a
you
fucking
can
tiger?
unlock, based off of the
Jesus.
skill level you have with
Tiger rat.
They'll need to get the strafing right
um,
with like a
and,
proper
that's
animation so it
always
doesn't look
nice to
fucked.
have. I think I remember,
Strafing is
playing
really
through Star Wars
important.
Galaxies, and I really loved how they did their crafting system. I thought it was very well done. So,
It is like a tiger
There's
type
a
of
kitty
thing.
on me.
Why isn't
Oh.
it attacking?
Oh no, protect the dwarf.
Oh,
There we go.
oh, that looked so good.
Fuck.
Wow.
there's like a brawler over here. Maybe I should
What is that thing that was floating above his head?
I think it's when something dies.
Oh, it's like a pinpoint. Where?
Maybe
Javelin? No.
I always move them around my hotkeys, so I don't actually know where it is.
Oh, it is
Who the
Javelin.
fuck is standing
I
there
don't
and
like
there?
order.
Jesus.
Oh!
That guy got wrecked.
Like I
Yeah,
can
it's
see
like a
the
little
the
restoration.
movement and everything is still like a little bit clunky. It's not like fluid from one
He looks like he's
action to the
permanently
next,
suffering
but
in death.
for the state they're in now, I mean this is still alpha. It is not bad
Incredible.
There's like a dude standing.
because obviously they're just getting the functionality in there.
Here, the tree will
I
kill
love that pool,
Oh,
bro.
Yeah, that looks so good, dude. If they get the movement and the combat right, this is gonna be fucking lit.
I see where the ashes comes from.
Do note
in
that
the
particle effects are
name.
still in the works.
Oh yeah, everything.
Are you blinded by my holy light?
Yeah.
It looks like they're really
So you
big
guys
on
have-
Too divine for us.
effects and stuff.
Art
They
is,
want
art is
you to
always
feel
going
the
through different
power you
iterations
wield.
and different passes. I personally think it looks great.
Was
for-
that a roll?
For pre-alpha, but
What?
it'll definitely get some love. These are
Oh,
pretty trash
dude.
mobs. I think we're all level 10, so we're much higher than them.
So you
Oh,
can dodge
we're
as well.
pretty-
Fuck
Yeah.
We're not in a party. I figured we should all be friends,
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah, that's a good idea too.
so I can see your health and heal you.
Oh,
Let's,
even the
see if we can
party
find
screen
any
is like
more-
Yeah.
Or, you know what? Actually,
is
there's like a little
out
dungeon
of the
here.
way, not in your face.
Mm.
Oh, you know, if we want to,
I think we've shown this one before.
have we shown this one? Well, let's go through again and just kind of show off the size of the dungeon. Let's fly this time because I think
Oh, okay, cool.
previously.
Ooh, they're gonna show flying mount.
It's pretty bear. I don't want to kill this bear though.
Oh yeah.
Let's go.
No, let's not.
I think
kill
the
it.
PC they're streaming it on is
It seems
struggling
like
a bit.
it's just having a nice time. Oh wait. My bad.
Oh no.
Oh, dude, that bear has fucking shit growing out of its
I'm a
back.
Kill
conscientious
people.
objector to this. I'm just gonna sit here and
Just,
watch.
just watch.
Jeez, dude.
Oh, there's a lot of herbs and stuff.
Even the
Yeah.
combat text, it's
So,
not like
you know,
in your
in-
face, but it's there
As
so you
go
can
on
see
Gather,
what you're
right,
doing.
There's going to be obviously
So
various
clean,
tiers
dude.
of Gatherables that are out in the world. And, you know, you're going to have the more common ones that are acting as kind of base Gatherables, base resources that kind of support a
And
tier
another fun
structure
fact,
as
so
you process things
The
upwards.
creator said
And
he
you're gonna
wants
have more
distance
rare ones.
to
There's
matter,
all
right?
kind of like one-off
So if
Gatherables
you
that
had
kind of
to
sit here,
loot
but
something in an
there
area
are
nearby
large
and
vein,
actually went through the trouble of walking to like a different fucking continent or something, selling it there, you'd get more because it's worth more there due to it being scarce in that zone versus where you got it.
Large mine of iron, you know, ore, and it can
That's
extract a
fucking
lot
The
of
fast travel is going to be super
over
limited.
time to come and deplete it first, and then once
But
it
that's
gets
good, dude,
depleted,
because
move
then
on
you
elsewhere.
utilize the full potential of the whole
Yeah,
game.
so if for one day you want to make like a fuck ton of profit, you just farm shit in the zone and you travel with a buddy, talk cock, you go there and then do it.
Yeah, so tools are going to exist
Oh,
in
it's
a
fucking
similar
awesome.
fashion to the tiered resources that it's applicable towards. You can't really customize a particular tool. You know,
Flying
look
mount still
different.
needs a little bit of an
However,
animation,
based off of the quality
eye
of the tool
animation.
making, you're going to be able to have more
very
uses
static.
out of these tools. Now,
You
tools
can
will
see
have to be,
they're just popping in the
continually
models there with
replaced as
basic
you
animation just
are
to
using
actually
the
test shit.
tools to gather resources. You'll have to replace them, obviously. All right, yeah, let's. We
Wow.
definitely can't
Fly,
kill the
bitch,
content
fly.
here, but let's fly.
Oh.
through,
Wow.
What the fuck is this thing? Like a,
This
Wow.
one's not a flying mount.
it's got butterfly wings, bro.
Really?
Dude, did you see the way when it went down? Like, you know, like when a bird pulls its wing in and look.
Weird.
Wings
Are
up.
Are you guys GMs?
Yep.
I think so, yeah, because we
Yep.
leveled up and stuff.
That's super weird. That you guys can't fly.
This is
Maybe you don't have the
good.
royal status
we
on.
clipped our wings.
Oh, I don't think you guys have the royal status for some reason.
Rude.
That's weird.
Who was that?
Yeah, okay, well that's fine.
I don't know.
I'm gonna fly through. You guys can try to like run maybe.
Yeah, we'll see who can live.
Yeah.
Hit C, Maggie, hit C.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
Z.
So this is the
there you go.
dungeon.
Okay, perfect.
It's interesting. I wonder, is the dungeons
See an
instant
extra
or
weapon
how
now.
does that work?
It's like you just
so
walk
to kinda,
into
like,
it.
Give you guys
Yeah.
an idea of
I'm
the,
wondering how that works
this,
with,
you know,
like,
this
more
dungeon,
players
and
going
give
in.
You guys context
and
for the
everything,
size,
wow.
literally, of like the world around you, right? I mean, this is a pretty massive sprawl.
Look at the
dungeon.
fucking
This is one of the first like level 10
wall art.
area dungeons.
Oh
you
my
go through.
jeez.
The world is
Wow.
intending to be, you know, massive, really big, and because of that, you know, a lot of the corresponding like points of interest and stuff, we want to reflect that size in the environment.
When do you think you'll be release this thing? Next
You
year?
see here, it's pretty standard.
I think early next year.
Multiple rooms that are kind of present.
I hope.
Different hunting areas that players can group in and stuff, and there is going to be that dynamic where, you know, rooms are going to be contested because some rooms are better than others, and that's just how the dungeon works, right? I think that.
And I know you've answered this before, but
Yeah.
I'm sure folks who are kind of new are going to ask, when it comes to contested, how does that work exactly?
Dude, this
Well,
dungeon
essentially,
has
like,
so
let's
much
say,
detail in
you're
it.
in your guild and you're in your party and you roll up on like let's say me and Jeff were in our little party and we see you and Sarah here with your group, and you have a room that has the best maybe farm rate or whatever.
You ain't winning it. Toast and I gonna
Oh yeah,
keep it on lockdown.
we got this.
Oh,
what
so
we
it
would do
seems
is we'd
that's how it
roll
is. So
up
the
and we'd
dungeon is
politely say,
open,
hey, how
but
you
when you
doing?
go into a certain
How long you
section of the
guys
dungeon, it closes for everyone outside. But I think they can maybe even like see you through it, but just not enter or do anything. That's really
we
interesting.
would say, hey, you guys doing, how long are you going to be here for? And if you're just like, it's our room, you'll never have it, then we might have to throw down some fisticuffs and maybe declare like a guild war or flag on you or, something that might contest
Fucking
your
eyes.
ease of gameplay within
Jeez.
that room.
So a dungeon is a real world space. It's not an
Those are
instance.
some of my favorite
Yeah.
experiences
Type
I
of
had,
thing.
like,
You
in
don't want to
Lineage
share, you
and
have to
other
fight.
That is
PvX
interesting.
games
Really interesting.
where PvE is very important, but that PvE has a gosh darn it. I keep trying to fly with my mount and pulling up my NVIDIA control screen. Oh well. Here, let me jump down here. But yeah, that's
Fuck, you're very nice,
that's
dude.
just
Shut.
kind of the dungeon.
It's a good
Give
thing you
you
told
guys
me
a
about
little-
this game.
I meant more
Hmm.
so like the contestedness of like.
I'm gonna follow
You
them.
should check my YouTube, dude. I'm gonna make
Oh,
a
I see,
full
got it,
fucking
yeah.
I
series
get that.
of covering all the aspects. I've
If
I've-
you if you can get into their game early, they will fucking sponsor you, dude.
Yeah.
hell yeah.
For like
Like
tagging
streaming
mobs and
sponsors
stuff,
and content creation
there is
sponsors and shit like that.
A loot condition.
They might pay even
that's
just if
determined
they
by
can
each
see you
guest guy.
invest a lot of time and attention, they might
So if it
even
comes
pay you
down to, like,
just
two
to
groups that are
stream
trying
their
to,
game.
Hell
fight
yeah.
in the same area,
Got my job right there.
it's
Easy.
really going to be
Just imagine that shit.
an act of like seeing who's going to.
Because I have read like a lot of shit that they put out. I've watched a lot of their old stream stuff, so I know
Yeah, they get a little bonus.
like
right, they get a little
quite a
bonus
bit
on
from what they have planned to have done so far.
The experience of a monster will be divided to the
Oh, that's
groups
cool,
based
dude.
off of their percentage
love
of,
it.
of damage done. So if you do 50%,
The
of
only thing
damage,
I'm worried
regardless
about
of
is
the
just
looting
how the
rights, which
combat's
is the
gonna
tag
feel.
component, regardless of the looting rights,
The thing is,
damage
it
done will
might
be
look great
equitable
here,
in
but
percentage
the
split.
mechanics on your side.
Yeah,
are a
and
bit-
how it
have to-
feels, how it
So if it's
feels. That's the
10,000
thing.
you're gonna
experience
have
to kill a monster
to
and you do,
play it
40%
yourself.
of the damage with your group will get 4,000 experience. That's divisible by.
Because I think it's really hard to get the fluidity between actions, like a firebolt and then a melee
hope you
swing.
guys-
Like
I'm just sitting here looking
they
at the
need to
water,
manage that.
admiring
I
how
would
it
rather have
reflects.
3 abilities that you can use
Oh, the
very
lighting? Yeah,
nicely,
yeah.
like fluid, versus 30 abilities that is just clunky.
Yeah,
Yeah, I do see. I see that in the little ground area.
And the
Okay.
little
fact.
water
Yeah.
spot here.
That's let me see.
All right, Altones, I'm out. I'm
Hmm.
gonna go and Tarky.
Enjoy.
All right. Okay,
Alright,
okay.
okay, alright.
See if I
Parties,
can
you
go
coming?
here and get, let's go back to that little.
I'm gonna
there we go,
drag him
little
down.
lava area. I love the lava stuff.
Yeah.
Wow.
You remember when the
Ooh,
lava
the heat
was
waves.
Oh,
gone?
my game launched now. I can't do
Oh
shit.
no, I'm gonna run through this.
Hey, you're stuck here with me.
A sprint.
Fucking smart is probably
Get a
playing
bug
Stunk
world
from
lava.
Nipkey again.
Cease.
Turned into like water or something like that. It looks so weird.
Oh yeah, that was definitely crazy. I'm just gonna
wanna
run
go
through
make
this
some
stuff and
Milo.
run back. Just give you guys the ground view of the size, that's here.
So they don't have a purchase model for the game, so you're not gonna buy it. It's just gonna be plain subscription. That's it.
When you played in your MMOs.
So you don't have to buy the game or shit. So you can buy a month subscription. If you
really
don't
like
like it, you quit. You don't lose much.
I like the Carzon
But that's
series
smart
as
on their
well,
side,
like
Rick,
Return to
because
Carzon.
a one-time off purchase
Carzon or
and the
Book of Carzon,
subscription
just 'cause
based
there's
is
such weird
subscription
layouts and funky
surpasses
things
it
where you, like,
way.
drop
I
through
mean, if you
portals
play
and
the game for a
sizes
year,
change.
12-month subscription, you cost you $200
Yeah.
bucks
My most
a
memorable
month.
ones are
Yeah,
like
and it's
the
harder to
big
get into a game when you have to put down like fucking $60
because
versus you can
so
put down
dangerous
like
to get
10,
into
try it out for a
the
month, and
farming
then
spots,
see.
So it takes a while to get in there, and like you have to
That's
like
the
buff
thing.
up and all this stuff, and then
It makes
get
it
in there
easy
and
for
get these
people to
full
come in and out without having to worry
intense.
about buying
Fact.
shit.
I think to me, I love those dungeon
Facts.
crawls.
All right, dude.
You
Check
don't
you.
wanna die because getting
Goodbye.
back there is
Bye.
horrible.
Absolutely. I
Not
remember
that
in
it's horrible, but it's just an intense, adventure.
oh, these guys are jumping around. Look at them. Look at them
Hopping.
jumping.
Oh yeah, I wonder what that's. Probably Z-axis issue.
Yeah. My favorite dungeons, probably I would say Antheris' lair in Lineage 2. the heart area. I had some long.
I wonder if this is just a
grinding
dev
sessions.
thing, or if they
Long
actually,
grinding
in the real game, will be able to run with your
sessions in
mount
that
inside
area.
dungeons.
Lineage was a grindy game,
Yo.
and if you had a good group in that heart, you were making the best experience possible. But
Streaming the
you
stream.
would always have groups run in and try to PK you or try to take that spot.
Ashes of
It's just fun to
Creations,
see
new
too.
game.
Lineage 2 kind of gave
It's
me
hopefully
a lot
coming
of
out soon.
similar vibes to my old EQ grinds as well.
Oh yeah, another fun one that I used to enjoy in Lineage was the Four Sepulchers. But if you were like a hero, you could port down into the Four Sepulcher area, so you didn't have to like go through the like hour-long run it took to get there. And I definitely enjoyed. I was a little bit of a griefer because I would go down there and we would always be at war with this one guild, and I would oh, you're gonna die. And I would try to attack their team as one person versus like 7 of them. So I would just like jump in and
Toast
attack.
got me. I'm just pulling one.
No.
Aw, you
Aw,
leashed
come
it
on.
back.
Steven's a bird.
Leashed it.
Bird. Oh yeah, I don't know about it. Look at how many bears there are here.
Yeah, but that's why I kited only one out to us.
Oh, there's a lot of bears there. Let me see if we can run in this area.
Okay.
Oh yeah, this is another thing that's cool. Is like the world bosses. Oof, that was bright. The world bosses. Having them get, you know, epic boss rooms. I love that too, and like playing with the environmental hazards.
World
and
bosses
stuff.
have their own
It's
boss
possible.
rooms. Wow.
Yeah, I like that. That reminds me. I didn't really think DDO
This
had
looks
dungeons
fucking
where it
beautiful.
was like this, you know, epic thing where you had to like crawl through it and hold on to it or anything like that. But it did have some really interesting mechanics as far as like traps and stuff like that. That I
Do
think
the lava
was
burn
really
you?
Cool. And puzzles.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Jumping
I do
puzzles?
love jump
Maggie, do you
puzzles.
love jumping puzzles?
I hate. You know I hate jumping puzzles. I'm so
We need round 2.
no.
Wow, this looks good.
Yeah. We
Where's
need
our
some-
dragon
where's
friend?
the jumping puzzle? Oh, you gotta be dismounted. Oh, there he is.
Oh my word.
Aha.
Hello. I think they did this one last time as well.
It's waiting for us to go through, I think.
But yeah, all right, we're gonna see you back on stream. Hope you guys enjoyed a little look inside the game right now. I know it's been a while since we showed some footage, about a month, but little talk on Gathering. We'll talk a little bit more on stream, and we'll see you guys soon.
Yeah, thanks.
Bye.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
All right, now everybody, now slap.
All right. So hopefully you all enjoyed the video. We'll have it kind of playing in the background here while we chat a bit. I grabbed a bunch of questions from chat. There's one person in particular. You're spamming. I'm still going to ask your question, but no need to spam. I was snagging all the questions for you.
Welcome to Twitch.
The first thing
Everyone
I do wanna
spams you.
preface
Who's
is,
this guy? Let's
for
see.
those of you who are new, because I saw some people
Who's spamming?
commenting about flying. Flying is not going to be like that. We're not all just going to be able to fly. I don't know if you guys want to talk a little bit more about that. Obviously, we've answered this many, many times.
Yeah,
We got tons of new people.
Yeah, we got a lot of new
this is
people.
true. So just to be clear, flying is very, very, very restricted. It's a very powerful, obviously, achievement, but it's restricted to the leaders of guilds that own one of the 5 castles in the world, as well as the mayors of Metropolis stage nodes.
They
which
should
there can
allow
only be
people to
5 at a
like
time.
breed
And then
common
there
flying
are
mounts.
rare drops that occur from legendary world bosses that are essentially eggs that players, there's a lifetime on that egg and then a lifetime on the mount.
I know
And
this feels.
yeah.
Just kidding.
And just-
Sorry, it's a terrible joke.
and then there's essentially you can raise that up to increase the lifetime per se, but it's limited. So there really will only ever be maybe at a time, you know, between 10 to 15 players that are going to have access to flying mounts, but they will be significant mounts. They'll have abilities that are very strong. All mounts will have certain types of abilities, and the royal mounts will have
Mounts
the
will
most
have abilities.
effective abilities, especially when it comes to PvP.
Imagine flying a
or
fucking
AoE
dragon.
type effects.
You see
And you
some
won't be
guys
able
you
to
don't
run
like,
through,
they
like,
pissed you
wicked
off when you were trying to
episodes,
get
like
into a
geodes and stuff like
dungeon
that.
like
You won't-
2
you
days
shouldn't be able to,
ago,
like, just run
and you
through the
just
entire
burn it.
dungeon
Fucking go to car or
skip
something. Like,
everything necessarily.
Yeah, that wasn't a legit dungeon experience. It was more just
imagine
showing you
that.
guys what's
Yes.
going on in the dungeon.
Yeah.
Also, Steven, you just left me there when I like pulled just that one mob for you perfectly. I peeled perfectly.
Oh yeah, I wasn't about the lava bear life.
No, they
with
hit
only 2
hard.
people.
It's a tough life.
There goes
put
the
some
tree.
GM armor on.
You
maybe.
could tell that Steven's used to being the mage because I'm used to being the tank, so I'm used to like pulling like little mobs like that all the time.
Oh yeah.
So I do have a lot of questions. I don't know if you want to go into those first or if you'd rather just kind of like talk about crafting because I do want to talk about harvesting and gatherables and crafting a little bit. I know you talked about it as a like contextual, but maybe going into more depth. So I don't know which one you want to do first, questions or
we can do
that.
some questions. Just keep in mind that obviously as we test, some of these systems are going to get iterated on. And then additionally, I know we're going to release a blog later on that goes into some significant detail. So it might be smart to save some of the really detail-oriented questions for the blog when that comes out. But yeah, we can do some questions.
All right, let me grab these questions and then we can talk about other stuff that's not covered here.
Sure.
So Oliver. I don't know. I'm probably going to say all your names wrong, so sorry. Say I don't harvest or gather for a couple of levels. Would I then fall back or fall behind in skill and not be able... Jeff, stop. I can't read because your name keeps covering stuff.
Sorry.
And not be able to gather certain resources in a higher
That's a
level
good question.
area?
Like when you level too fast and ignore your
The advancement and
professions.
progression that exists within the artisanship path does not correlate to that of your adventuring class. So you could choose not to touch gathering at all until you max your adventuring class level out, and then you can go back, and that's going to be completely removed from those two things. You can go back and you can start gathering the lower end tier type gatherables and start building up that start building up that branch of the artisanship tree. And as you build it up, you begin to get access to certain professions that you can then start essentially utilizing to get additional experience there, which unlocks more capabilities.
So it doesn't
also keep in mind that the way that we're designing these zones is it's not a progressive like this is a level 10 zone, this is a level 20 zone, this is a level 30 zone. That's not how the game is designed.
Okay.
Every level will represent and have some content for just about any level person. And that goes with resources too, right?
How does that
resources
work
are
then?
going to be available in places where they make sense, not necessarily based on we're going to put all the iron in the level 10 zone and all the mithril in the level 20 zone. That's not
Let's
how
ask a question.
It'll be more
regionalized,
sort of realistic, regionalized, and a little bit more it'll be less gamey and more natural, I guess, more organic.
See if
And the
they
idea
answer my
there
question.
is to essentially provide kind of system-generated stresses based off of those
Can I highlight this
placements,
thing?
so that regions and localities have to essentially
have anything
utilize
set
the
up.
trade systems and the caravan
I'll ask the
systems
question again in
to
like
move
2
goods
minutes.
around, so that players have access to their local warehouses for the materials and or gatherables in order to either process them or use them in crafting stations that come online as nodes advance. So there's a significant importance on the location of these goods and how they relate to the location of the crafting centers as well.
Yeah, the economy is super important to us. We want sort of a living economy, which means that there is a sense of supply and demand, right? Some regions will have a lot of a certain type of resource and they won't have other types of resource. And it will be up to players to sort of take advantage of those different supply and demand curves and try to maximize the amount of
I want to know how
money they can make from it.
How would X be vary per zone based on your level?
Art stuff to show
Because the guy just said it doesn't matter where you are.
Okay, true. I did pull like 20 questions, so that's probably why they can see how many questions. Okay, so I'll just ask this one because it actually pertains to what you're just talking about, which was selling stuff. Spectron7X asked about player sales and auctions. Will there be any way for players to search for items before they travel to a specific node, or will players be restricted to shouting advertisements in node towns? My perspective comes from Star Wars Galaxies and EVE Online. Both games had mechanisms for discovering that an item is sold at a location prior to traveling there, so you don't waste your time, kind of.
Sure. So real quick on that front, there's a lot of components to that question. It touches a lot of different things. But on the auction house front,
what up, gangster?
economic
Hey,
nodes will have
what's
access
up, dude?
to auction house that are local to those.
I'm
to
just
those
watching
nodes.
a
And
dev
as
update
a
stream
node
from Ashes of
progresses, it
Creation.
begins to vassal
Yeah, so
other nodes. If the parent
Dude
node
is
is
looking fucking
economic,
lit.
it will have the ability to
aight.
connect with those
Aight.
Not a fan
vassal
of
nodes
like
that are
I'm
under
not
its
too
zone
sure
of
what to call
influence,
it. Like
and
the
it will be able to share the auction
thing
house
they
in
use,
that
like
regard, especially at the Metropolis
the
stage.
like,
Additionally, from a player stall or shop
I don't know if it's
standpoint, if you're in
the
an economic node,
I'm
there
trying
will
to think of the
be
fucking word.
certificates that you
style.
can purchase from
Yeah,
the
like it's
economic
similar
node
to the art styles,
main
the game
building,
engines
that
essentially,
will
like whatever they
provide
use to run that
the
particular
license,
game.
essentially the business
So like for
license,
example, like
to
Unity. So
sit
like
down
Unreal,
and
or
run
what?
a player-owned
Do they use
shop
Unreal? Do they?
I don't
wherever
know.
you're
I
at
think
in the
I
world.
think
You
they're
have to have
using
the
something
license that
of
you
Unreal.
purchase from the economic nodes.
Uh,
And then
yeah, because
additionally,
I think like most games I
each
play,
node
use
has the
survival games
availability to either
especially,
build a
use
market or
Unity.
economic nodes are by
Mm.
default have player-owned stalls
And it doesn't
or
look like
rented
Unity
stalls.
gameplay.
These
No,
stalls you
it's
can put
definitely
in
not.
either services for recipes that you have access to that
Kind of like
players
a,
can
it's
come
got
and
like a
interface
Final
with and
Fantasy vibe
utilize,
sort
and
of
you
thing.
can charge a fee for it, or you can list
I don't know, dude, like,
items for sale within
kind
the
of,
stall.
really.
I'm
Now,
getting
all of
really
those
pulled into
stalls
this.
and the auction
It'd
house's
be good if they can pull everything
listings
off. It
are
looks quite
capable of
cool.
being
Yeah,
observed, so
It's
that you know
the
where
problem
to
is
go to
it's
get certain
like
things on a community
like I find with every
board,
game these
essentially,
days,
where you
especially
can
like when it comes
access
to like
the
kind of
town
survival
center's
games. The people that put the hours into it get the benefits,
community
right?
board, and
Which
it will
fucks
show
the
you
game
the
over for
location
people
and
like us
items
who
that
have
you can
jobs.
search
So if
through, and
someone
then
Yeah.
can
have
sit
to
at
travel
home
to that
and play the game
location if you don't
24
have
hours a
access
day,
to either an
or for
integrated
example a
auction house
guild,
hub,
an entire
or the
guild is
stalls
made up
not
of
present
people
in
that
that
can play this
location.
game for like 10 plus hours
Yeah,
a
we actually
day.
had an
Mhm.
article
Like
about
you just
economic
can't
nodes. A lot of
get
stuff that Steven
like
talked
you
about is
can't
in
get
the
anywhere,
preview
and then the
posted
game
in
just
more
gets
detail.
abused
So
by
if
those
you want to go check
people,
that
and that's
out,
what
it's on
happens
our
with
news,
Ark.
news page,
Mm.
Like people that can play
you can find it
tons and
through,
tons of hours into it
the
can obviously
node
monopolize the
series, which is
game.
called Economic
Hmm.
Nodes, so you should be able to find it pretty easily.
And
Yeah,
that's what I'm
so-
I know
hoping
we still
like
have more in that
it's
series
like
that are
limited
coming
on that
along, but
game.
design is still finalizing.
Yeah, so
The
I
build's
know
very
they did
important,
talk
and
about
the
certain
final
restrictions.
setup
I think this
is
question was
just
raised in one of the
one
previous
mission
streams
that
where
pretty much in a
some
final
guilds
state
would
before we,
like
Yeah.
own
information.
everything and make it impossible for
Um,
other people
So with
to
that, we know we have a lot of
contest
questions.
something
I
they're
just wanna
holding.
preface that normally we do
He did
a
mention some type of fallback mechanic to make sure that does not happen, as he wants fair gameplay for everyone.
They need like some sort of world event reset sort of thing maybe once
Yeah,
in a while. I don't know.
that's exactly. They said something about when the nodes reset or like something goes haywire, something like that. But it was brought up.
Before our live stream, so you have time to plug in your question and then
Even not, it doesn't even have to necessarily be like a full reset. So, for example, like maybe a fucking dragon comes out of the sky and it knocks the level of your city back to like
That's
3 or 4
literally
levels.
what they said could happen. So if we
Yeah.
example is if people mine like this mountain fucked up, there could come a fucking monster out of there and just destroy the entire node being like a continent
Yeah.
type thing.
This is another wonderful thing from Jim. We have shown
So yeah,
some of the waterfalls in the past.
they don't want it to be a completely
Yeah,
controlled
just part of the process
world
that goes
just because
into,
a team can
iteration
play
over
fucking
the
24
art
hours a day.
assets that
Yeah,
enter
yeah.
the game.
And it shouldn't
You know,
be. I
we
mean,
had
like
some
not
old
everyone,
waterfalls
not
that
every, not
didn't
every, oh shit,
necessarily
what the
live
fuck's
up to
that?
snuff
Not
and
everyone
how
can
the world
tribe
was
up, and
progressing,
not
so we
everyone
had to
like.
take a
I think
pass
this is some of the
on
problems
those,
with like
and as you
games
can
like this. Is
see, you know, not
some
only do
people
the
don't want to
effects
play
look
with big
great, but
groups
the
of people
updated watershed
necessarily.
are
Like some
also,
people want to play
you know,
solo,
starting
so
to
you need
look
to
really
balance the
good.
game
These
out
will
for them as
continue to
well.
go
Yeah.
through iterations as we get closer to launch. But as you can see already,
a lot
in
of
this
things they're gonna have to
pre-alpha
sort
state,
out,
you know,
but
I think this
no.
this looks great. They look very
It does. It
natural.
looks.
They look
I
very
like.
immersive
I
in
like
world.
the
It's
system
also
where
great
like
'cause
you
they're
can
way
attack
more
other people's
performant than the old
castles and
ones
stuff
were.
like
Like
that.
way more.
I like the
They
idea of
look
that.
about
And
as
they're
much
talking
better
about
as
250 v
Yes.
250
Yeah, it's always
guaranteed
great
60
when
plus
you
FPS
gain on the
battles.
performance side and on the visual
Like
side.
they
You're
are
like, oh,
confident
wait,
that their system
that's
can
not
handle
supposed to be the case, but yeah,
500
it's great.
player battles
Yeah, it
and
looks
everyone will
wonderful.
still have
People are saying
60
this is their
FPS
yoga
plus.
spot. We got some yogis out there.
Whether
I
that's
like it.
fucking deliverable, I don't know.
And our next
No,
one
they
is
literally
going to
ran that
be
test with
the seasonal
users.
environment
The
assets.
first test failed, and then they took a year and rewrote like a fuck ton of
I love the
back-end shit. Then they did the
love when
test again,
when
and then
I
it
do some
passed.
stream because I never have time to review the
I
assets
suppose that's the
prior.
advantage of
And
like,
so
that's
this
what
is
I'm
all
saying
just
about like
like,
the
oh,
game
okay,
engine
yes.
and obviously it not being as
Happens
sharp
to
as
see it
other
when you're running
games.
around
That's
in the
probably the
world,
advantage
like,
of that
you don't
anyway.
realize, like, all the- yeah.
Yeah, Mia is a wonderful artist. She
What are you
is
jamming?
so talented and experienced.
It's an
And
arc at the
I mean,
moment.
you can just
Oh.
see the detail.
I feel like
and,
a
you know,
survival
the
game.
tender level of
one of
care
the
that goes
servers is
into
just
creating
wiped, so I might just
these environment
collapse.
assets.
build for a
You know,
bit.
really to make the world look like a beautiful
feel like I
place.
have Arc on Epic
it's
Games. Let me
immersion
go
is such
see.
an important component in our gameplay experience, and part of that immersive quality comes down to the sheer talent that goes into our amazing artists creating this world. So yeah, these look, I love these.
Yeah, they're great. And then the next set of assets we have here are the Junior Node buildings that Ricky made.
Yeah,
Wish I had
Ricky
a
Ho, one
decent
of
group
our,
of friends that I got
one of
along
our
with that played
concept
this.
artists, as he begins to kind
Arc
of
now.
Have some Could have some good fun.
diversify the selection of architecture for the Dunir race and all the other races, working with our talented concept team. They provide
See
these
if my base spot's available.
concept
Don't think it's gonna
pieces in order for the production artists, the 3D modelers on the environment side.
Bear, stop
to
licking me, you
really,
fool.
No, I don't have
stick
Arc.
to this,
Dude, I saw on
architectural
your
design,
Facebook. Don't ask me why I was on
creating these
Facebook, but your
assets.
dog
So
is fucking huge.
part of Alpha.
Oh yeah, the
1
picture of
part
Jess and him
Alpha
on the
1
sofa. Yeah, he's a
he's
fucking
gotten
beast, like.
quite big.
Because the nodes
That
adopt
photo
the
does make him look like
predominant,
a little bit bigger than what he
culture
actually is,
that
I
gave
think.
the node
Like he looks
experience
like
to
a monster in that
advance.
photo.
It renders the
Although I suppose
appropriate
compared to Jess, he is.
culture to represent the race that helped establish that node. So we start fleshing out additional buildings. These are constructed in a modular fashion so that they can be mixed
Stop
and
being a
matched to
fucking
some
annoying
degree
dog.
to help not only speed up the production time,
Your screen is
but
black.
also provide.
I don't
one
think
of our
so.
environment artists created a great building tool that you may see a dev diary on our YouTube page, where essentially you can go through these modular sets and start just pumping out a lot of different buildings, and the concepts here help to guide those necessities.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go through them quick.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah, but as you can see, these are mostly what it looks like village stage building variants that exist within the Dunir culture. The Dunir being a more traditional type of a dwarven race that you might expect from medieval fantasy games.
The art style of the
it's always
buildings look
interesting
really
that
good.
usually dwarves are portrayed inside of a mountain, but here you're going
What
to
did you
see
say?
literal settlements.
The
that are out
building
in
models for the
grasslands
game
or
looks
out
really
in the
good.
tundra or wherever there might
For what?
be
For
a
Ark?
biome.
I know, Ashes.
And
I'm
that's
watching
going
the
to
stream.
help
Okay.
present a really
Yeah.
cool, really cool and unique presentation for a more traditional type mountain dwelling race.
I almost
Yeah, they're
timed it
just-
perfectly with your mountain,
pretty
with
good.
your grassland and your tundra. Go for it, Jeff.
Oh, I was just gonna say the dwarves haven't had enough time to excavate the mountains yet when they arrived. So
Right, exactly. Love it. They haven't cleared out the the dark, corrupt denizens that may exist in the mountain.
Perfect. Now we get to move on to our character art team, who submitted a lot of great stuff. So we're gonna switch on over to that.
Character art, show me the good stuff.
First and foremost, we have some
Ah,
swimming.
movement
I know
here
a lot
looks
of folks
much
have
smoother
asked
than the
about swimming,
previous clip they showed.
So let Steven talk over this.
Yeah, so I mean, as you guys know, there's a lot of water content that's planned. You didn't see there in the transition from the above camera shader to the below camera shader any type of screen effect that will be applied later, like water kind of drying up or something. But as you can see, this is some fundamental swimming. You will be able to utilize your abilities while in the water. There is going to be naval content that will require large groups of people participating in water combat as well as ship to ship type combat. So we're now just starting to flesh out essentially those
This guy's bald like me.
buoyancy and physics of the ocean, as well as giving the
Have you
character
finished your
animation
cloak quest on
component
WoW?
the ability to transition from a
No,
land
I don't
state to
even know if
a
I'm on the
water
fucking.
state,
Have you?
that
No, I
utilizes
think I'm
these
close though.
animations, which
I'm
our
gonna
animation
hop
team
onto that now.
has taken a first pass on. I think
No.
they're doing
I
good.
just
Good.
don't think the stream's gonna be on
Like
for
we said,
too
this
much
is early
longer.
pass, so bear with us. These aren't fine. This isn't final or anything like that, and we will have some other adjustments to
How
it
long
as
have they
well.
been on?
But if you have suggestions and stuff like that, you're always welcome to head on over to
I
our
don't know,
forums.
whatever.
We love reading all of that.
It's usually like an hour and a half
Puts
ish.
together reports every month for the dev team.
I think
So
I've been watching
that is
this
the best
for
place.
close
If
to an
you have
hour, yeah.
feedback or suggestions, the best place to go is honestly our forums, because we put together reports for those. It's easier for us to grab data. If you're PMing people, it's really hard for us to grab the PMs from all of Steven, right? Like, we're not going to make reports on that. That's not happening. So, but if you put it on the forums,
all 1,000 of
we
them.
are able to grab, we're able to grab that data and easily send it over to the design team. I'm just
over the
prefacing,
past-
Steven.
Yeah, no, it's good because
Yeah.
over the past 2 weeks since I did those 3 interviews, I think I've had like 9,000 LinkedIn views and probably about 1,000 LinkedIn messages and probably like 3,000 Discord DMs. And
I get like
and
3,000
by
a
the way,
day
I
on
just-
Discord.
I
It's nuts.
I would just like to preface that I try my best to read the DMs as much as I can. I definitely read the forums and the content creation that happens and the Reddit. That's a little bit easier to get to for me. Right now, my phone actually crashes if I try to access my DMs on Discord, so I can't do that. But I can do it from the desktop.
But we do put together reports for Steven and the design team and whatnot. So definitely that's the best way is the forums. If you have questions, we have a questions channel in our Discord. That's a fantastic place to go. Beyond that, Toast and I try our best to get through all of the messages, and Violet as well. Like, we try our best to go through all of those things and all of our social media. But the best way to provide feedback is over on the forums.
Yeah.
And of course, if you have a CS problem, the best place is to put in a ticket. So, without that, we're going to go on to the next one. You all have really, really loved our lovely goblin friend. And now we have one of the variants completed, so you can see it with textures.
Oh my word, this looks fucking awesome.
Yeah, this is one of the NPC monsters that represents one of the tribes of the goblin race in the world as a adversary. He is definitely on the green side.
I think I was watching Asmongold react to it, and like how everyone was trying to say that it was going to be the woe killer sort of thing.
Yeah, I'm always like, I never want to say a game's gonna be the WoW killer because everyone always says that when a new MMO launches.
I think WoW's too established now to be just taken out by another game. I think.
Yeah,
it's always gonna have devoted fans.
What I do see with this game, at least up until this point, is the team is much more involved with the community than WoW is, and that's WoW's biggest problem right now. They do their own thing and think it's right, but it's usually not.
Kind of disable the nodes that exist, not destroy them. You will be able to get unique cosmetics.
I don't want to get. I am excited for the game, but I don't want to get like crazy excited because
so that's something that's interesting.
You know.
Yeah, like, you're not wrong. Yeah, I was like, actually, I didn't think about the monster.
Everything they're trying to pull off, like all the systems, all the features, all the stuff.
And it's a goblin loincloth. You know.
It's really
like a lot.
It's a lot.
So our next one.
And coming from a developer, obviously not a game developer in industry, but like I have a good idea of what amount of time it takes. Yeah, and I know to a certain degree the technical like levels of stuff they have to go through, and it's all I see is this huge fucking mountain they have to climb.
Very
I don't know.
kind of is this an NPC or is this character?
I don't know what it is. My Windows key's not working.
This might be NPC.
Yeah. So this, I was gonna say I don't see the cuts. I was like, that's interesting. Yeah, this would be, as we construct different armor sets for NPCs to mix and match with, you're going to see more of this, more of these NPC clothing and armor that comes online. This one looks like a character. This one looks like character. I can see the pieces on the arm and the coat and stuff.
Yeah.
That looks pretty cool.
Level up of it. So maybe they're both.
Yeah, I guess they are. Yeah, level 1. Okay, so this is progressive. So essentially, we're showing kind of how these character armors are constructed. They gradually increase in silhouette size, not because your armor is going to progress per se in the game, but on a production side in the game, in the development of the game, we use base pieces to help level up these armors and grow the silhouette so that they become appropriate pieces that can be utilized in higher tier armor sets that the players can achieve. And then they get diversified through the materials and the textures and the colors and the thematic components that can be applied as attachments. These essentially get diversified.
All right. And then our next one here is the Spellbreaker's Gauntlet.
Ooh, this one's nice. So this is a cosmetic. Now this is the final model. This is the finished model.
This is not the concept art.
This is not.
This looks fucking awesome.
So this gauntlet here was a cosmetic. When was this cosmetic? Was it a long time ago?
I could look, but I'd have to. Oh, actually, I can look right now.
I tell you, they need to get onto. I know Summit 1G is playing Elder Scrolls at the moment, and it looks like very, very similar. Maybe they should try to get like some of these even Shroud's playing it. Get some of these streamers.
Cosmetic appearances.
They have already reeled in Shroud and Asmon into this thing with interviews and stuff.
That you would then apply this what's it called? The gauntlet of
Spellbreaker's Gauntlet.
Spellbreaker's Gauntlet. So you can apply this cosmetic appearance to the gauntlet.
Is there a timeline for the
game? This portrays a little.
Well, it was going to be this year.
3D effects.
I think COVID happened, and then they had to redo a lot of their back-end stuff.
It might actually glow and brighten as you cast.
So yeah, but roughly they're talking about like I think sometime next year. So it's still a bit away.
This is the game model of that Spellbreaker's Gauntlet.
My cat has interrupted. The chat's probably moving.
It's pretty great when we can just see the tail.
It would be the July 2018 to August 2018. Thank you,
there you go.
Violet Lights,
2
for
years
sending
ago.
that my way. You are lovely.
My God. Where's the time gone? I feel like my life is flying by.
I know, it's crazy.
It's just
That's game design.
one large game design. Exactly. I don't even remember living before starting Intrepid. It's like my headspace has been completely vacated and now only exists in ashes.
No.
So the next ones we have are all of the creature stuff. So this is a lot of the creature animation and creature particle effects. So the first one is going to be actually the troll, and it's specifically you're looking at the.
Are we gonna jam some WoW later tonight, or you in an alky mood?
You're looking at this, don't look at
Yeah, I
the
don't
things,
think I'm
look
in
at
a WoW mood tonight.
specifically the particle
Alright, no
effects
sweat.
on the attack.
I played it a couple of days ago, and I think I just overplayed it.
Yeah, because you leveled your
Okay,
one
yeah.
thing straight to 120.
Yeah, so this is
Yeah,
just
my
some
druid,
pretty simple effects on the attack animations that you're seeing, which
Wow.
give it a little bit more oomph as you see different creatures' attacks
I'm glad though, because
occur.
I think I'll probably
Yeah,
use my
before,
druid as
we
my
were
main.
using kind of generically
Is it?
generic.
You're no
sort of
longer gonna main the
effects,
paladin.
for impacts and stuff, and this is sort of
No,
integrating some of
I'll see,
those,
because apparently the paladin's
to
going
the
to be
actual
OP
animation
during
of the
the
creatures that are using it.
Shadowlands,
So it's
but
a little bit more couture.
I'll just
It
have to
gives
wait and
kind
see.
of it reduces the amount of
The druid's just so diverse, I just can't not want to play him.
Yeah, they've got a lot going for them.
Couture.
One of those.
And if you're bored of the one spec, there's like a billion others. So
Yeah, exactly. Like it's literally got a different type of DPS spec, a healing spec, a tank, and well, it's got 2 DPS specs.
All right.
It's probably the
next
most
we
diverse
have
character out there.
our War Beast animation. We showed a little bit of the War Beast
Clash,
before,
should I
and
say.
people lost their minds. So enjoy this now.
But I'm going away anyway
This
for a
is
week,
like
so I
the
won't be
War Beast is a
playing it all
Gen Z
anyway.
creation.
what's
She's
it for
amazing.
work?
Hi, Gen
No,
Z.
for
Somebody put you on the
just
screen.
gonna go see family.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I think it's so huge.
Ooh.
It's massive, yeah.
Yeah, it's too bad we don't have a scale next to it, but
You should see.
this dude's pretty big.
I finally got like
Elephant sizes?
the last little bits that I've got for my computer. I finally got it all like together and
Yeah,
stuff
he was a
and
little bit
decked out.
smaller than an elephant, but-
Very
And
nice.
There's a variant of
and
him that's
it looks
gargantuan,
fucking.
and
I'm
carries
well
one of
impressed
the
with myself.
siege-
Considering it's my first
carries one of the
build,
siege
I'm
weapons.
like very
First one that Gen
surprised
Z made,
Yeah.
Steven was like,
of how well
"That
I've done. Like
huge."
it was looking sick. I've got it all like
Yeah.
greened out, so it's like green and black.
How pretty he
You
is,
know,
he's
Oh,
so
look, he has a little scene.
Oh, yeah.
Warhammer 40k.
I
Yeah.
got very excited about
Yeah.
it.
So like the Necrons from Warhammer
Thank you,
40k.
Tristan.
That's kind of like the theme of it all. So it just looks like
Can you just
It's like
imagine
green and
being
dark
in a
black, it
game
looks
and
sick.
You
That's
just
it,
hear
you should
this,
send me
like,
pictures.
thundering movement over like a
I'll do it
hill, and
WhatsApp
you
now.
just turn.
That
Oh,
thing comes
this
at
mount
you.
looks,
Thing
wow,
with
breaks
NPC
the
looks insane.
horizon, and it's just like this dude is charging you, and you're just like, huh? What do you do here?
I run, or I
That
like.
happened to us in a Pathfinder game one time. Kevin was DMing, and there was a herd of, I believe it was bison, and we were like level 2, and one of our people had been trampled, so we tried to like help him, and then they trampled us and killed the entire party.
I don't think it was a bison. I think it was something
by
else.
bison.
Yeah, TPK by bison.
It was a big creature, though. At
think
least the one
those are
that
some
I was
decent
part
ones, I'm
of.
not too
We
sure.
had a similar situation like that.
Yeah, they're
and
not
Vic
too
P
bad.
was also the one DMing.
He loves
Oh,
getting
this
hit
looks
with
good.
herds.
Yeah. The next one is going to be our ram. So you saw this last week. You saw the
The
ram.
creature
Ram
NPCs
is
they put
on.
in this game looks like high, not like
Yeah,
realistic,
orange
but it
Definitely
looks
refining
really
their
freaking cool.
fur and hair cards.
It's like that scraggly goat hair, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, this looks great. I think this was Carson that did this little dude. Excuse me. Sorry about that.
The not the animations of them, but the
No.
model.
Sorry, he did the model.
Yeah.
I'm not sure who did these animations. It might be Myers, I believe.
There it is.
Whoa.
But
again.
there he is with his caravan.
That looks awesome.
Yeah, so this is a Dunir influenced caravan. You can see by the bulkiness and the armor
they showing
plating
you?
on the
A
spokes
little
and
caravan
wheels.
thing. I think it's a way of moving from place to
and
place.
This is in game,
but it looks really fucking good.
Different types of caravans that you can own, essentially, as you commission them, will take the appearance of the cosmetic you have applied.
And then our next one is going to be our lovely spider.
Oh
First,
my
this is the
word.
turntable of the spider, so you can see the
That
entire
looks
model.
terrifying and awesome at the same time.
So this is an enemy NPC that's going to be, obviously arachnids are a fan favorite when it comes to fantasy games, And this is one of the initial spider creatures that are used. There's several variants. Jinsey modeled these. They're going to have...
Thank you, Jinsey, for making the translucent one. That was like, I was like, please make a translucent one. She's
Wow.
like, I'll try.
Yeah, so these are just some examples of the different spiderlings, and they'll vary in size as well. You have some that are very large up to the head height of a character, and some that are smaller, maybe to the kneecaps. Shanky in the knees, that little spider will do probably. But these look good. I like these.
Yeah, they're awesome. I like their little hair pieces. And obviously we'll have different types of spiders too. Like they won't all be this like hairy spider type. All the people who are afraid of spiders are probably horrified right now.
Hey, it's good to face your fears. MMOs help in that regard.
Makes you stronger.
Yeah.
All those little mandible wiggles.
Well, he's hungry. He hasn't probably eaten in a while.
Oh, that's so creepy.
Wow,
Nope.
this is fucking creepy.
I'm running.
They've got like this really scary detail spider.
Oh, if it has teeth. Why does it have teeth? Well, I thought it's just supposed to have mandibles. It has teeth.
Oh, imagine it spitting out like acid and stuff too.
Oh no! Don't go towards them. Oh. There you go. There's a little monsters.
No, this is not. The mobs are not completely done. They're just showing the attack animations and stuff.
Yeah.
And still has AI stuff to do with it. As I'm sure Jeff is looking at it being like,
could you imagine if you had a small mesh where you couldn't see the spider and it was like one of those funnel spiders on the beach, and as you're walking past, just like it erupts out of the ground and attacks you?
Ooh.
It's like having those randomly placed throughout the world, not so much like in a hunting ground where but like just random spawners of funnel spiders that pop out of the ground and
like
just
you walk over it and you don't even know that there's a spider underneath you because it's like flat on the ground. Oh my gosh.
That would be
the sound
great.
mix on it is totally off, so it's
the sound mix is super loud. Yes, and you just hear the clapping of the mandibles and the teeth.
Yeah,
That'd be great.
I don't hear that.
It'd be cool if we could integrate that with like future, computer seats that have like tactile response, and when that event when that event occurs, the seat touches you. You know what I mean?
Fantastic.
Oh yeah.
It would definitely be crazy.
Start losing players to heart attacks.
Yeah, we need to add that to our scope creep, by the way. Creation of tactile seats that integrate with calls in game for.
Is that going to go with our VR experience?
No, I'm just kidding.
Oh no. And I think you made a good point about like feature creep and stuff, because I have seen a lot of comments regarding that, and we're obviously going to wrap up our show today. But we are always going to be conscious of our production line. Our producers are amazing in making sure that we stick to our schedule. Obviously, we're kind of a little bit ahead schedule.
This was really fucking awesome.
Aspects, because everyone's working from home and really focused. Yeah, we have a lot of stuff that we want to put into the game. Doesn't mean everything's going to make it at every milestone. Doesn't mean everything's going to make it at launch. So just keep that in mind. But we'll set the expectations with the content that we put out on our news site. We'll always let you guys know what is going to be coming up. Stay tuned for that.
You're going to have to get from under there because you're really annoying me.
We'll talk about each of the classes, because I know classes and combat are one of the major things y'all want to hear about. As Jeff and his design team finalize each of the classes that are going to be in alpha, I believe there's going to be 6 of them, correct, for alpha?
There's going to be 5 for alpha, I believe.
Okay.
5, yes.
Yeah, so we'll be releasing an article about each of those, as well as some video content, so you'll know which abilities are going to be there, what stage it will be in, and also like the next milestone.
Cool. I like that.
So kind of what kind of feedback we're looking for each of those things. And then we'll also have stuff for systems and the races and things of that sort. So stay tuned. We've got a lot of stuff to share with you all.
We're excited for it.
So without further ado, I will wrap up the show, unless you guys have anything else you want to add.
Yeah, absolutely. Just wanted to reiterate, I know that right now, because of the exposure over the last couple of weeks, a lot of new eyes are on the project. And again, I want to thank everybody for, their support in lending to this discussion about what makes MMORPGs great. We cannot thank you guys enough for coming and joining on the Discord, subscribing to social media on Twitter, on YouTube, on Facebook.
I want that 10K Insta so I can have the swipe up. I need the swipe up mechanic.
So with that being said, however, I do want to make sure we temper that hype by letting you know this is a process. Our goal is to create a quality product that has a good launch. And that means making sure that we take our time to ensure the quality of that product, that it makes you guys proud, it makes us proud. So there is still a long road obviously ahead, but you know, the great thing about a transparent development is you get to watch us all along that way. And I know it's difficult to see the game and hear the philosophies and the ideas and just not be overcome with complete grief that you can't play right now. But I've always said that, patience is bitter, but its fruit is sweet. So having that patience and keeping with us along this development period, we all appreciate that at the studios. It is a significant motivator for our developers to just see the sheer love coming from our community. So we appreciate that so much, and we love you guys from the studios 100%.
Thank you so much. And to the people who are like our OG folks who have been super helpful, I also want to give a shout out to you. You have been answering a lot of questions, being really kind to the new folks, welcoming them in, and we greatly appreciate that. Like, words cannot describe how, because it's been a lot of people that even Toast and I and Violet are not able to necessarily, answer. So thank you so much.
Yeah.
MMOs live and die by their community, and we've got one of the best ones in the industry. So.
Absolutely.
Hell yeah.
Yep.
100%.
So with that, we'll wrap things up. Reminders, I'll just go through them really quick. We do have new emotes on the Discord. Definitely go check them out. They're so adorable. We are trying to get them on Twitch, so stay tuned for that. We'll do our best to link up with them and get that going. We do have a bonus dev discussion this month.
Are you playing anything at the moment, are you?
Multi-boxing. So definitely
No, they're wrapping up the stream now. Then I'm just gonna make some chat, and I'm gonna hop into WoW. Wanna see if I can finish my quest tonight.
It's gonna be heated, I'm sure. And then we also have another one coming up for August. We won't skimp you on any.
Why do you ask?
As Jeff and his team have a lot of questions that they would like to hear the community's.
Just in case I get bored of this.
Beyond that, our monthly cosmetic swap over will be at 11 a.m. August 5th, 2020. So stay tuned for that. We will be showcasing the new set soon, so stay tuned for that. And the last but not least, we have our test coming up. If you are Leader of Men or Phoenix Initiative, definitely check your email. We'll be sending out another update today for folks who did not sign yet, or if you're still in the ticket system, it might catch you as well. We definitely need people to sign it, so definitely check your inbox. It might be in your spam or junk, but definitely go check that and reply so that we can get you all flagged up and get you ready for testing, because we want to start doing our next test here in August, and we need that done first. With that, we lastly, don't forget that our statue, all you have to do is register on our site. You don't have to do anything else, no payment or anything, just register on our account, register an account. Anybody from April 7th, 2020 to September 7th, 2020 will get access to that. I think I can put that up on screen again.
Including all previous registrations.
And including all previous registrations. Yeah. That's true. I guess I didn't need a start date for it. I don't know why I was thinking that. I'm just so used to having a start and end date for things. My mind.
Not in development.
And that's it. So thank you, Jeff. Thank you, Steven, for taking time out of your day. I know you both are very extremely busy, so we really super duper appreciate it. Thank you to all of you who tuned in. We appreciate it. Thank you to the entire Intrepid Studios. Everyone has done an amazing job of, kind of showcasing content every month. And we'll be with you all another update next month. So stay tuned for that. We'll let you know in advance whenever that's coming up. So without that, we will put this video up on YouTube. Check it out, youtube.com/AshersOfCreation. You can go ahead and subscribe now. It'll probably be up later today, depending on YouTube. Otherwise, it'll be tomorrow morning. And we will also post on all of our socials. So follow us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Please, Instagram. I want that swipe up mechanic. Bye!
Bye, everybody!
Beautiful. Oh, a little. Oh, very nice. I like that. Alright. Oh, I guess that's it, boys. I'm gonna head off for a bit. Just gonna make some chow. And then, yeah. Shots for tuning in. I hope you guys enjoyed the Ash of Creations or dev update as much as I did. And yeah, I'll try and make some content for this on YouTube, go into depth with all of the systems app and so on. And yeah, thanks guys.